Hey guys, and welcome to the BAINSAINYE Show. It's your boy BAINSAINYE, aka the real Sooty Swinger, and I'm here with the thick, the chunky, the dangerous Brown Gandalf.
Welcome everyone, and just before we start, we're going to drop a disclaimer. All the views expressed in this episode is solely ours and for entertainment purposes only, and we don't mean to cause any hate to any community, religion or race. And yeah, and our content is for adult owned audiences, so just hold tight.
But that's a whacking the disclaimer in, but also plugging that BAINSAINYE membership is £4. What do you get for £4, Codman?
You get life. 80p an episode. It's 5 episodes a month. Within the 5, we've got one special members episode, and we are bringing a new change in. There's going to be more content for members only, so it's not going to have that little cut off. You're not even going to get the start.
Yeah, like we're in, we're out. Like none of that. You're just going to get the full shebang.
Yeah, that's for members only, and then whatever's public will be just small clips.
I'm talking about bang. Today we got a very dangerous guest.
Tar.
It's Siddharth Tar, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is, bro. Today, if you don't know, it's in the bio, it's in the link. We've got Inder, Bassi, the one and only. What you saying, bro?
I'm all good, thank you. What you saying?
Chilling, man. Carmen, bro.
I don't know how to feel, because the thing is, he cannot swing for you. If you say
I deliberately put you there,
and if he needs to, he can just dart from this corner on the table, and that's it. This is my right cheek is gone.
That's it, man.
Your left,
not today.
left hook, jab, jo marji hove, Anka's going in, bugs off.
We're on camera. I can't do nothing.
I tried to tie a bug today.
Pyar diya galla hona aaj to.
Yeah, mixture galla. But yeah, what are you saying?
Not too much pyar.
Not too much pyar. That's fine. That's fine.
But nah, man. So basically, Inder, man, we wanted to bring you onto the show. We know you're doing a madness, and we just want to break it down. Like, just break down what makes you you, right? And first of all, I just want to start off by asking the question: why boxing?
Good question, bro. So obviously, as you know, boxing is quite popular now. In the past 10 years since like Joshua kind of thing, boxing been big, especially within like the Sikh community as well. But I started boxing. I've been boxing for about 15 years now. So I started when I was about 11, 12 years old. But I was always training. So when my granddad come from India back in the 60s, he was the first boxer, like Asian boxer back in the 60s.
Right.
So he took it up. You know, he used to watch Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, and he was inspired. He actually boxed in the amateurs. Then from then, my dad, they took up boxing. They all competed in the amateurs, won London titles, regional titles in the amateurs. And then obviously I'm third generation now. So I was always training. I always knew about boxing. You know, the trophies are there. So I just kind of took it one step further. Now I'm a professional now.
Now that's interesting, man, because I feel like the one thing is that a lot of us with, you know, our age group as well, I think there's that commonality where we have our parents coming in, doing something before, and then sort of like that driving off and coming up as a motivation. So you said your father was also a boxer as well?
Yeah, my dad, my dad, and my granddad.
Okay, all right. That's I mean, to be fair, I feel like
that's quite unique in its nature. Did they do boxing in the UK as well?
In the UK, yeah.
What about in India then? Were they?
Nah, so no one, even now, not many Punjabis, Indians know what boxing is. They say to call, they call it wrestling. You know, they don't really know what boxing. They call it mukkebaz or something. We literally just punching match. That's all they call it. They haven't actually got a proper term for it. It's not that common. My granddad used to play kabaddi back in the day. As, you know, they used to play kabaddi, used to wrestle and that. But when he come here, obviously wrestling's not that big in this country. Yeah. So he saw like Muhammad Ali. He was the biggest fighter at that time, and then he started boxing from then. And then from then, obviously, he had to work, and you know, they had a different life to us back then. He obviously retired at whatever age, and then when my dad and my dad were growing up, they started boxing, and then from then, obviously, me, third gen.
Wow. It's impressive because it is like unique in its own nature.
No, definitely.
Yeah, because if you look at Punjabi heritage, Punjabi culture, Pehlwani is such a big staple. Big staple. But then coming over, it's a bit interesting.
Yeah, but even the concept of Pehlwani is linked to, even an example like Bhangra is linked. They use moves from Pehlwans because the move when you do kushti, right, and when you do Shinjaun, right, the moves that they do, it represents obviously the culture, and that's actually embedded in our
Bhangra. I mean, is an expression of culture, isn't it? Yeah. The moves, like you said, they do like farming movements, how they used to cut the crops, and the wrestling movements. But we kind of lost that, didn't we? Like you said, we're coming over to England and escaping India and all that kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot more to it.
And so, one thing I wanted to really pick upon was when you sort of like started off your amateur career. and the whole thing between, you know, cutting off the beard.
Oh yeah.
And your campaign against that. So how did you really go about it? Like,
yeah, so I started obviously. I had my first fight when I was about 12 years old, and then I didn't have a beard back then, believe it or not. But when I got to about 17, so everyone in the world, even now, you have to shave. And any amateurs, just not professional boxing, not kickboxing or taekwondo, whatever, just amateur boxing. And when I got to about 17, 18, obviously I used to have like Hardy, like a little moustache and that. And you have to see a doctor. So every time you fight, you have to see a doctor. And the doctor would he would do this down your face to see if you've got like a stubble or anything. I used to get rid because I never shaved, and I think it was just baby hairs, you know what I mean, little things. So, but they started getting a bit picky, and I thought, you know what we're gonna do now, you know what I mean? Well, I either have to start shaving like an idiot. You know, I was getting 17, I think it was. Or I couldn't box, I couldn't compete, you know what I mean? And then one guy from Midland, Curran, a good friend of mine, he called me. I didn't know him at the time. He was a complete stranger to me. He messaged me. He said, look, Inder, this is what it is. I want to box, but I can't. He was Amritari. Well, he is Amritari. He goes, I want to box, but I can't. What do I do now? You know what I mean? I said, look, I don't know. Like, I don't even know who to tell you to contact. So he actually put in a graft. He got together a few people from the Lions MMA from across the country, from Midland, the Sikh Press Association, and like Amandeep, a solicitor, lawyer, and Dr. Harbe, who's a doctor. He got like together a team, and he's my age, man. He done this when he was like 16, 17. Got together a team, and they challenged the British board, and they got it overturned. But they needed kind of a case study to say, you know, you want to get something overturned, but who have you got to say this affects someone? So then I was a case study, and I had to do these couple of things and whatever. But he'd done the work, but I was obviously involved, and I was a case study. I was the only boxer at the time, and a lot went in it behind the scenes, but we got it overturned. And even now, though, it's only overturned in England, I think, and Canada. So anywhere else in the world, you still have to shave. In the Olympics, you still have to shave. Right. Well, you know, that was the case when I was amateur about 4, but I think they've changed it. Okay. So originally it was just England, but then obviously once England kind of does something, the whole world kind of follows suit. You know what I mean? So we got that overturned. It was a long process, because I remember, you know, when it happened, it went everywhere. You know what I mean? It was big news, and people was coming up to me like, I was that 18-year-old kid. Bro, well done, man. Thank you for like, not just Punjabis, Gore, Kali, whoever, because beards became a fashion then. Like, I'm talking like 10 years ago, they started becoming a fashion. So it kind of affected everyone. It didn't just affect us. It affected us for religious reasons, but everybody wants to keep a beard. Or whoever can grow one. Do you know what I mean? And it was massive news, but it was a long process. But we got it overturned. You know what I mean?
Why? So just for my knowledge, why beards though? Why do beards have to be shaved before?
Yeah, see, there was no actual like legitimate reason. It was more so like it's an old rule that's been in existence for like 100 years or something. Okay. So they just kind of, no one challenges it. They have no reason to overturn it. You know what I mean? If no one says nothing, just keep it going. And then obviously they say like it could cushion your punches, or it could, if you shave, it could scratch someone. It's just there's no real concrete reason. Like you can't say that cushions something, because everyone would have a beard. You know what I mean? It doesn't really work. But that was one of the reasons they give, I reckon. But they overturned it, you know what I mean?
How did that feel though? Because obviously being in the boxing world, you're just amateur boxer, you're starting out, and that's a big barrier. And knowing that you haven't got really anyone around you that looks like you,
bro, it's crazy. Like I'd go to shows sometimes. Obviously, like it would just be my family, like my cousins or my friends at the time. I was the only up and out in the country. There was a couple of others, but there's no like Singhs practicing Sikhs at the time. There was no one who had long hair, who had a beard or anything. It was crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking 2011, 2012, back then, it was mad. Like, but since that rule's come out, that's been overturned. We've had loads of up and under young, up and under from across the country, boys and girls who are taking up boxing because they can now. They know there's nothing limiting them, and it's like if no one's done something, our people, it's hard to kind of explore new territories. So they can kind of see me now. There's other boxers, they can kind of follow that path, but it was hard at the time. Like I said, you'd go somewhere, I'd be the only Asian. There was obviously Pakistani boys. Even back then, though, there wasn't many. You know, I'd be the only up, and I was like 14-year-old, 15, 16, skinny little kid going up and down the country. You know, areas full of gore, but it was mad. But it builds character, and it teaches you a lot. You know what I mean?
I can relate to that a little bit in the sense of not just you know, the boxing side, but obviously where I grew as well as a teenager.
100%,
Like when you're in a full complete white area and you're the only Singh, the amount of the thick skin that you have to grow.
But it works. It's hard at the time.
Yeah.
But you look back and that kind of you realize how that changed your life, how that makes you. You know what I mean?
Did you feel so? Those experiences that you had growing as a kid, you're vulnerable at that age. That's an age where you feel different, and having a bug is probably like you feel at some points. Maybe did it come into your head that it's a bit of a barrier because sometimes. When we have to be honest, when I was young as well, I felt that a little bit. Having my bar, I was like looking at myself in the mirror. I'm thinking, why am I doing this? I'm the only Singh in the school, only Asian in the school. I only look like the way I am. And wearing a patka or bug, it sets up so many challenges, extra things on top of being a different color.
Yeah,
do you know what? Did you have that?
I'm not just saying for the interview podcast. Never, you know. I was always kind of proud of who I am. I was instilled in me from a young age from my family, and that, you know, I mean, it didn't bother me once. Like I would go to these places, I didn't feel like, oh, you know, if I cut my hair, maybe I would look like them. It didn't bother me one part. I never kind of had any aspiration to cut my. You know, a lot of kids they say, you know, I want to get to 16, I'm going to cut my hair. I never felt like that at all. I never felt. You have to kind of in any world, I guess, not even just boxing, but. I could talk about boxing because that's what I come from. If you earn your respect and you put the graft in, they respect you for who you are. And I realised that you can sit and cry and say, oh, why this or why that, or you can take matters into your hand and actually do something with it. But for myself, I never felt like I had to or I needed to but that's largely because of my family. They helped me. You know what I mean? Being around them, hearing their stories from how they had it. You know, my dad they grew up in Dagenham. That was the home of the National Front. They used to have proper fights. You know, kids from other schools would come down. You know, it was a very racist area. When I heard their stories, obviously I would listen to them from a young age. We had it easy, but we have it easy. You know, it's bro. They were telling me like randomly people used to come and smash their windows up, their front windows, or the teachers used to kick them out of the class for no reason whatsoever. It was a whole different world. When you kind of hear that, you think, bro, someone called me a packy, but there's no big deal. I've been called a packy a million times, but
I agree with that. That's some of the things I seek inspiration from when I've talked to your old elders.
And I think like it's also that thing of like, you know, Sikhi as well. Right? Because a lot of people know about like the mental aspects of it, like, you know, Naam Jap Simran and all of these things, right? And like being somewhat strong-willed, right? But the other thing is that the physical aspect, the martial side of it, that a lot of people do forget. And
we lost that. You know, we had a whole generation. We've lost that. You know, that kind of when our parents come from India, or like my grandparents, I'm a bit different, but some people's parents come from India. They spent so much time working, send their money back home, and that they kind of it wasn't their fault. There was no outlet for their kids, so the kids didn't get into sports. Their kids all they said education was the only way forward, and I completely understand. Back then it was different, but we kind of lost so much, and the martial side is coming back now. Like every goddar's got a club, and every goddar, or a lot of goddaras, should I say, have got some sort of facility for the kids to explore. Because without our physical side, we're nothing. We're just like sheep, you know what I mean? Someone can drag us by our hair and beat us up, kick us, do whatever. We need that. That's what makes us who we are.
Yeah, because whilst growing up, so with the Gurdwara that I used to go to, they set up a Gatka class, right? So learning about Gatka, learning about, you know, how to use certain shastar and how to, you know, go about certain things and the way of life, the warrior life, basically. So I was doing that for like the ages of 7 all the way up to 14, 15. But then at that time I sort of faced like the whole like the monaism, basically like oh monaga, so you can't do certain things, you can't do this and all of that, which I do understand, but then it's just it's sort of like drags you back, and then there's that judgment that's there, which doesn't create this inviting space. Unfortunately.
But that's the last thing that should happen, because the gurus, they didn't close their door on no one, do you know what I mean? And especially your own people. You know, like I said, everyone's on their own journey. I can't say to you I'm better than you, or he's better than us, or whatever, you know what I mean? We're on our own journey, and everyone's going to find their guru one day, whoever guru has their kirpan, you know what I mean? That's a whole different matter. You can't say the one place you should feel safe is the Gurdwara. Regardless of what you look like, regardless of what you're, that's like saying some people with a better surname and some people with not that same surname, they're allowed in the Gurdwara and you're not. It's pretty much the same thing, but you know what I mean? Just because you got a bug on your head and one person ain't got a bug on his head, he's a better, or he's a lad, you know, that's not what it should be, bro. Because like I said, the Gurdwara is where you're gonna find that. You know, I might start off as a Monna, some kid might start off as a Monna, but when he comes to the Gurdwara, that's where he's going to find his biyar for his Guru.
Yeah.
If you're shutting him off already and say you can't do this or you can't do that, obviously some things like that's different. But in general, for kids, the Gurdwara, needless to say, should be open for, especially sports classes, Punjabi class, Sikhi Prachar, whatever. You know what I mean? The Gurdwara has no limit on anything.
Yeah, because even like physical fitness in general, right?
Yeah.
Physical fitness was introduced by the second Guru.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew about this, but here's the second Guru, Nanak Dev Ji, and there's accounts from it. And then you talk about things such as wrestling.
They built akhadas, wrestling like grounds.
And then after, obviously, Guru Har Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Har Gobind Singh Ji, and Guru Gobind Singh Ji, all of these things, it just comes into place. And but yeah, I mean, in terms of like with Sikhi, yes, you do have the fighting spirit, and you do have the mental aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
How does that relate to you?
Well, this tattoo, but it says Sawa Lakh. I don't know if you can read Punjabi, but that's what it means to me. But you know what I mean? Sawa Lakh se ekla round tabe Gobind Singh naam kaha. It means like one of my Singhs should be able to fight 125,000. Then you can call yourself a son of Guru Gobind Singh. Do you know what I mean? When you have that mentality of like being fearless, nothing kind of stops you. Like when you hear stories of our shaheeds or like people back in the day, if that doesn't inspire you, as like I'm talking for me, if I would hear these stories and you think, if that doesn't inspire me, if that doesn't tell me to push on and be something that I'm trying to be, then what is gonna? Do you know what I mean? If you hear stories of some of the shaheeds and what they bared and what they went through, like I said, our lives are easy, man.
Yeah.
Not just our life, the whole in this country, I believe our lives are super easy. TK, we face problems. Everybody faces problems. That's normal. Everybody's going to face problems. Regardless, you can be the richest man in the world, you're still going to face something difficult in life. You know, it's up and down. That's normal. But in general, we have the opportunity to do anything we want, especially nowadays. Like you can imagine telling your parents 10 years ago that, you know, you want to do podcasts. Like 20 years ago, our parents telling their grandparents, telling them, I'm going to do podcasts. They were like, what are you talking about? Go and be a doctor or go and do this. You know, they won't take it serious.
Got a degree,
that's what they would say, you know what I mean? But we've got the opportunity to do something different, explore different avenues. And like you said, from my Sikhi, I get a lot, man. I swear to God, people just say, nowadays, this is another thing I want to say. We could talk about it later, but I feel like a lot of these athletes now, Sikh athletes, should I say, they do it for clout, man. What they do, their Sikhi is for the gram. It's a business model, like these influencers. That, you know, that's not me. Okay, I might not be the perfect Sikh, but it influences my career, and this is kind of why I do it. If I don't give back to the people that made me and who I come from, then what am I really doing? Everybody works for money. Everybody works for their own personal success, or you know, that's important to me. That's important to everybody. I need money. I don't want to be homeless. You know what I mean? I don't want to live on the streets. You know what I mean? This is my job, but it's more than that. Do you know what I mean? For me, it's personal, and it comes from my Sikhi, and what I am, I believe, is my Sikhi, and I'm an example of what my Sikhi teaches me. So it's only right I give back to the people that I serve. You know what I mean? We're the servants of our Qawm.
Yeah, you've touched on many points, especially about the fact that we can do what we want, which I think has become, because we've got too much luxury.
100%.
I think let's say Punjabi young youth, a lot of them, well, let's say our generation, you know, going into the third and fourth in between, there's been a bit of a disconnect, because when our parents grew up, they just grafted, worked hard, they had no other choice, you know what I mean? They had to put, you know, food on the table, build a house.
100%.
And we were obviously looking at them, and the only thing we were the thing is, our parents, when they came to this country, they didn't know what's out there. Like, you know, half of them didn't drive.
It's a different world, bruv.
You know what I mean? Didn't speak English. That had an impact on our ability to go extracurricular activities and stuff. So then it does impact us, because now we're born here, as when we grow up to become parents, our kids will be way more involved, because we drive, we know the language, no barriers, more comfortable. And I think that is an interesting point, because we've got that luxury element.
It's that luxury as well, but then also the world is moving forward.
Yeah.
Right? So that nowadays, like, okay, yes, you can have, back in the day, the STEM subjects, like doctor banna, lawyer banna, whatever, like that was there. But now you can see other opportunities for
100%.
having a living, you know what I mean? Or a career.
And I think we're a bit more blessed. We don't have to stress about building a house no more, or paying mortgages or rent, or sending money back home, because we're in a bit of a different situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if I'm not saying that all our parents are millionaires or whatever, or you know what I mean, we drive Ferraris, but we're still in a better position than our parents were.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and so we have the choice, the freedom, like you said. But too much freedom, bruv, is not a good thing either, man.
I think we should seek inspiration from the old gen, because they grafted on top of so many challenges.
Hard.
Imagine if you were dropped into a new country that you had to go to because of opportunity, and then you got to work, graft, and you don't know the language. Those barriers you face, and on top of all the racism.
100%, it's crazy, but like you got to remember, we got phones now, so we can just call our mum, or dad, or cousin, friends, whatever. They didn't have phones back then. They used to write letters, and they didn't know if the letter was going to reach and if there was ever going to get a reply. You know what I mean?
I find it quite sad that
crazy,
actually,
man.
why are we in this country sometimes?
Mad,
I do
bro.
think about it sometimes. Like when I go back to Bind, and I'm thinking like life in the Bind is so much more therapeutic, relaxing,
100%.
therapeutic. You know, you're with nature. You've got healthier food,
But even that,
to
bro,
an extent.
even that, bro. If you look at it, that's a luxury we have because we can afford it.
Yeah.
Ask the people who are still in the band who ain't really got a job opportunity, who ain't really got an education. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're right. I'll make you right, bro. But that we're speaking from a point of somebody could argue of luxury. We've got it, so we've got a few quid. We can go back on holiday, spend a month. We can spend 6 months if we wanted to, and we can enjoy that. Come back and get on with our life. But if you're stuck there, it's a whole different world. You know what I mean? There's not much investment. Like people go back to like Africa or these other poor countries. Like I went Thailand. You know, they're just normal. I'm not saying all poor, but they're just working people. We go there for a holiday.
Yeah, but they were. Yeah.
We go. That's our holiday. That's my 2-week getaway from the rest of the world. For my world, that's my getaway. You know what I mean? I'm gonna spend. We spend money to get there. We spend more money probably on the flight there and the hotels than they probably earn in a whole year. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it, but listen, this is a bit too deep.
It's a thing of scales, isn't it? Because like if you go India, right, you can see somebody who's poor and poor. They're surviving. They're just about literally. And then next to it,
but who said they're depressed though?
No, we're not talking about it being.
If for someone from the Bind, right, their life is slightly more less intense in terms of stress, like mortgage bills.
I agree.
It's not a fast life. Maybe even social media is kind of.
I agree, bro.
And I'm thinking in the purpose of like, it's not even about wealth. Like, you know, you look at our grandparents when they used to talk about their upbringing and how happy their upbringing was. You know what I'm saying? The sense
crazy.
of they weren't living
100%.
hell, they even vitamin D was high. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying even the basic stuff that. Like nutritional like levels were better back in the olden days, and we regressed. You know, if you look at the Punjabi youth now, go to Punjab, the ville bete is it's just like villa damag shaitan da ghar, right?
They're making reels, doing like acting up.
Mad.
They're doing mad. Some of them are nasha, but like the drugs crisis that you talking about.
It's
they're
crazy.
ville bete.
They
got too much to do.
They got too much money.
Yeah.
And they've got too much time, and they've got nothing to do, nothing to look forward to.
Exactly, and they're all going abroad, and that's what's happening.
That's what our goals are individual. You know, we want to progress further, get an education. Their goal is just to get out.
Yeah,
that's true.
Their goal is just to get out. That's their goal. I mean, they kind of. You haven't made it unless you get out back home. It's crazy, bro. Like,
but then also, don't you think about here? The luxury is the issue as well, because
100%.
You have certain people here, right? Like, okay, cool, they're involved in a sport or whatnot, and then up and they just fall off. Like, okay, cool, they go to uni, 2-2 Jameson, 2-2 clubbing, all of that. Get a girl. Said that to me. That's it. You know what I mean?
Someone said that to me. He was like to my dad when I was younger. He's like, oh, give it to 18, Inder's going to start drinking, going out, get girls and all that kind of stuff, and he's going to stop boxing. I mean, it was like, I've never touched it, but that was a preconception that other up and they had of me. But when I was a kid, bro, when I was 14, 15, they really kind of labelled me as such, you know what I mean? But it's true though. It's very largely true. How many people do, I personally know, so many up and who could have done something in football or cricket or whatever sport, wrestling, whatever.
Yeah.
But they get to like 18 or something, they see that life and they just go, they drift off it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's just that, or do you think also parents as well?
No, but then I also think that it's that thing again. Like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's also that thing of, there's that thing where you can fall off, but then also what's already there. Because for example, as you said, right, with the amateur boxing, the whole beard situation, right, like there's no precedent that's there. You know what I mean? So it's like either do you become the president or do you fall off or break off?
Like lead by example, bro. You're 100% right what you said. If there's nothing there, you don't want to go in for you just do what's comfortable. It's easy. Your mate went to university, your older cousin went to university, so it's easy. You know you're guaranteed to get a job or get a degree and you can live an easy life. But it's stepping out into the unknown is what sometimes it actually makes a mark, you know what I mean? Because we've got loads of doctors. We've got loads of, someone said to me, it's mad, when I was probably about 2-3 years ago, he said, on a boxing interview, he said the Sikhs call themselves a martial race. Like, why don't we see no Sikh world champions and whatever, blah, blah, blah. I didn't really have a response, I thought, shit, I had to cut that bit. I don't know what to say to you, I was a 25-year-old guy, you know what I mean? I didn't really think about these things. I kind of deeped it, but there's so many reasons as to why we haven't. But one of them is, like you said, it's not our parents' fault, but it's just we didn't push our kids in, or they didn't push them in that direction. But now the door's open now. The door's open now, so there's kind of no excuses. We can't say that there's no opportunity, because if we don't take, so we teach the kids at the Godara. If the parents we can't pick every single kid up, bring them to the Godara. The class is there, it's free.
Yeah, you gotta come. Yeah,
you gotta take your kid there though. You gotta, the parents have to make it their kind of job to take the kids to the Godara, do matare, get involved in a class. The kid ain't gonna do that. The 12-year-old kid ain't gonna drive half an hour down the road to take himself to the Godara. The parents got to push him in that direction. I mean, so back then I think it was different. It weren't the parents' fault. There was nothing there, and obviously they had to work, and it was a different life. But now, it's the parents' job to take them to the Godara, because everything is at the Godara. And the Godara shouldn't refuse, like that story you told me. The Godara should never refuse anybody.
I don't know. I think when you mentioned this to me before, I don't know if it came from because particular shastras are only meant to be touched by Gursikhs, because they wouldn't want to open up a situation where someone who maybe drinks alcohol, ate meat, touched it, and doesn't make it such.
You're telling it to a 14-year-old boy.
No, but I'm just saying,
possibly.
I don't know.
No, but I'm just thinking that's what they're thinking from a Gatka perspective.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're But what I'm trying to say is that if you're saying it to a 14-year-old boy, right, that concept, and you're pushing him away, that's the last thing that you should be doing.
Of course, it should have been explained better to you. Basically, it shouldn't have been
not even that. It's just about making it far more welcome. And being straight up with it, and being honest, and have a positive conversation, rather than you just saying like, look, okay, cool. Like,
it is. It could have been done way better for you, and that possibly.
But I'm not just saying about me. I'm just saying about other Munde in general as well, because. Everybody has their own journey with the Sikhi, right? But it's that thing, isn't it? At the end of the day, where it needs to become a positive, open space.
100%. Even if you're a Gursikh, it's still a journey. It doesn't end because you take a number of bhakta.
100%. The word Sikh means to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, just like you said, just because you take it doesn't mean you've mastered something. It's a whole life, bro.
So the one thing I want to touch upon is that you mentioned about like how your family members have had inspirations and the figures out there. So what about you? Like, who was your inspiration, the boxing realm?
In the boxing world, bro, I ain't gonna lie, my favourite fighter is Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson,
bro, that guy is a monster. He's not just he's a monster. If a lot of people don't actually know what he come from or what he stood for. If you hear his interviews, the guy's he's a crazy man, but he been through a tough life, and that made him what he is, you know what I mean? So one of my all-time favourites, regardless of who comes, who goes, is Tyson. You got the argument, is Ali better? That's irrelevant, you know what I mean? They're both legends, but my personal favourite is Mike Tyson. There's other boxers as well, you know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather. People hate on him, but I think he's probably the best fighter, one of the best fighters ever. Hands down. People say Floyd, Sugar Ray or Marvin Hagler back in the day. I believe Floyd Mayweather. I'm not saying he's beat him.
Nah,
I wouldn't disrespect him, but I would say that he is hands down, undoubtedly one of the best fighters. And they're only going to respect him once he dies.
Yeah, and the thing is, he knew how to go around the boxing world and beat Mayweather.
Boxing's a tough sport. You get punched in the face and it's damaging to your health. So you want to make as much money, win as many titles as you can, and get out. Because there's not an award for taking the most punches. No one's going to give you a belt, or you took the most punches, bro, or you had the hardest fights and you got beaten up and you got your face busted up. You want to get in, get out. That's why they used to call him Pretty Boy. Floyd Mayweather, before Money Mate, used to call him Pretty Boy.
Yeah.
Bro, you want to have a pretty face because this is your life. You want to make a good boxer someone who doesn't get hit. You don't want to just stand there taking punches. Like people say Floyd Mayweather, he don't have these fights, or he don't get into problem. Bro, you don't need to.
His defense strategies were really clever.
He's an artist. Boxing's an art, and he's a formidable artist. You know what I mean? You can say, I don't like him, he's arrogant. he's done it though.
Yeah.
He's
I used to
done
think
it.
about that, but when you watch his YouTube videos, the way he trains, that was very,
Crazy,
very
man,
crazy.
crazy, man.
But you know what? The thing is, though, going back to Mike Tyson, seeing those videos,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
like a couple of years ago when he just started going back to the bag.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When he was talking about comeback, bro, he's got it in him, man. He's a dangerous
I've
man.
seen that Disney, they created a TV show, Mike Tyson. It was like a background about his life.
Yeah, I
I'll
ain't
probably
seen
give it a watch. It's quite theatrical in terms of the way it's showed, but it is his life story.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
showed how rough his childhood
very
was.
rough,
Like,
man.
you know, he would see his dad beat his mum up and
Yeah.
mum hitting drugs. He had probably the most toughest childhood, and to come from
Yeah.
that to where he was,
Where he went,
I wouldn't blame him if he had mental health issues.
Oh,
I wouldn't
100%.
blame him if he was
But
unstable.
you see, yeah, like they said, they didn't have time to be depressed. They probably, like, mental health is it's another luxury for us. They're touching on the topic.
Yeah.
Say like back in the day, like these. Okay, not so much now, people, but say parents, someone's parent comes from a poor country, he has to work. You know, if he's depressed, he's still got to get up and go work.
Yeah.
He's got a grasp of. So that mental health is very real. But I believe it's a thing for the luxurious. It's a privilege to be, not to be affected by mental health. I think it's a privilege to say, you know what, I'm going to stop work for 6 months. I'm not going to work, or I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that because, like I said, bro, half the world's depressed, but they have to get up and work. The things they've seen in third world countries, war, famine, poverty. They might be seeing their friends, sisters getting raped or whatever. That the stuff that the trauma that creates in your brain is crazy. But like I said, they have to get up and go work, man. They have to.
It's tough.
Yeah.
In Tyson, he was an example of how being fearless is the only. Sometimes being strong, it's easier said than done. But being strong is the only option some people ever have. Being that, you have to keep walking. You have to keep going, kind of thing. Literally, you have to keep going.
So then, relating it to the question of like how bun they are in our age group, or like our sort of like modern day men. Like, what's your take on that then? In the general gist.
I think that, bro. I think, like I said, life. It comes back to life being too easy, and sometimes guys are too soft. Like, I think I've been called Packy a million times, but I couldn't care less. It never affected me. Bro, if someone called me Packy, what? Cool, I'm a Packy. What you gonna do? Like, I won a fight, when I knocked that geezer out. One of his. So when I walked out of the ring, you have to kind of walk past like the fans and go to the doctor. So everyone, win or lose, you have to see the doctor. They check your eye, your head hurting, blah blah blah. Walk past them girls. Someone's like, "Oh, you Packy cunt, you headbutt, you this." I was like, "Fuck off!" I carried on walking. What am I gonna argue with every single Tom, Dick, and Harry? You call me Packy. I'm not gonna sit and cry. And I didn't make a big deal. I didn't complain to my coach. My coach was there. He heard it. But I didn't make a big deal of it. I didn't report it to nobody. I didn't report it to the the boxing authorities. It's normal. Yeah. It shouldn't happen. I know it shouldn't happen, but it happened, and it carry on. Do you know what I mean? I think nowadays it's like people get too offended. They're too like precise. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm not saying that's a mistake, but bro, just carry on. You have to carry on. Yeah. Like I said, I can make a big deal out of it. People play this race card and all that stuff, bro. I ain't about that life.
But how do you think you could bring change to reduce racism, or is it just we have to accept it?
Takes time, bro.
Yeah.
Well, first thing you have to accept it. Again, you can't go and bully someone. Like there's that kid who died like 10, 12 years ago. He's getting bullied for his gears, and that's a whole different thing. But as a grown man, you asked me about men. I think men should just grow up a little bit, as stupid as that sounds, you know what I mean? Yeah. For a kid, it's completely different. You can't expect a kid to be bullied and a kid to go. No kid should get bullied, regardless of who he is. That's what you have. Like I said, at our Godara, we have a safeguarding officer. So he kind of liaises with local schools if they have any problems. He does all that. Every Godara should have something like that. You know what I mean? Where they work with schools and any problems they can come to the Godara. Again, open space. They feel comfortable. They can talk to somebody. Somebody can speak their language. You don't want an old baba there. No offense, but he doesn't understand those relevant issues. We've got a young guy. He deals with that stuff. But for men, you can't sit and cry about every single thing in the world, man. You got to graft, bruv.
It's true. Because if you get the thing is, if you get too sensitive, do you feel you're saying this because? Is this genuinely you, or is this because you also want to show that you're not affected by it? Or
bro, the people that know me, but I couldn't care less of anything, bro.
So you're not affected by it. So say if you were in a crowd and they are like, this is probably going to happen. When you're going to go into fights, the other fighter is going to talk about your religion. They're going to easily go and dig. They're going to go deep, right? Yeah. Are you mentally prepared for that,
bro? I've had it. I can't say I'm gonna be. I've had it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had it done. I've boxed in venues where I was the only brown person there as an amateur. I boxed once and the geezer was like, gore there, I say, I don't know what they were, you know what I mean? There was like, oh, watch this Packy boy get knocked out in a round. So it's kind of, I've experienced it. And I didn't really care. If I didn't care then I don't really care now.
Even if there was like a group of crowd, and they're all going at you.
Bro, I swear that I walked through the thing, the scooties around me, so obviously there's like 5 security guys around me. Packy this, you Packy, you headbutted my guy, you're a cheater, bruv, you're a scum, this. I had it, 6 months ago I had it.
So when it comes to your training camp, right, so like when you go into like preparing for a fight or whatnot, like how does like that with mental hardships, like how do you balance that? How does it work out?
To answer your question, I think everybody should do boxing, not because they're going to be a world champion or professional boxer, but because it teaches you about life. They say, and I didn't understand this at the time, they say you walk into a gym as a boy, boxing gym as a boy, but you walk out as a man. That's quite and I didn't understand it. I thought, a 12-year-old kid ain't going to understand that, but now I realise the sometimes you get beats in the ring as a sparring session that humbles you. I swear that when you get beaten up, it humbles you and you think, shit, you know what, somebody is. When you're a kid, sometimes you think I'm a big man. When you get beaten up in the ring and someone hands your ass to you, you're like, shit, let me come back down a bit. But it teaches you. It teaches you a lot. For example, you're training hard. You might get an injury. You've been looking forward to a fight. For example, you've been training hard. Everything's going well. You can win the fight. You get injured, and what can you do? You got to sit at home. It teaches you. It's a journey. Again, every sport teaches you, but with boxing, you get beaten up. If you don't train hard, you think you're too good to train. I can lie to my coach, say, I ran yesterday. I promised I ran 5 miles, but you're gonna see it on fight night. You know what I mean? And when you get beaten up in front of everyone, or when you get beaten up because you didn't train hard enough, or because you cheated your diet, or whatever reason, then you think, I need to pull my socks up. Every kid, I believe, should go to a boxing gym. It humbles you, it teaches you, and boxers are good people.
So what's your opinion on people that sort of like talk the talk but not necessarily walk the walk?
Bro, that's up to them. Yeah, I mean, like I said, bro, the whole world, including myself, we can only talk like I can only talk of how much akal I've got. I don't know how to literally translate that into English, but I can only speak as much as my wisdom allows me to. So somebody might have different life experiences. They think they're a big man, you know what I mean? But every dog has his day, you know what I mean? That's one thing you got to remember. Every dog has his day. You're not ever going to be the strongest person or the richest person or the baddest man in the world, because there's always someone stronger out there than you.
How do you psychologically maintain that energy throughout the fight camp? Because how many weeks is fight camp? I'm a person that doesn't know boxing that much, so
on average you say around 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. But obviously I stay in shape pretty much all year round. Okay. So even now I'm injured. I've got a bad injury on my knee. So I'm still training almost every day. Like I'm not really running as such or doing strenuous exercise on my knee until that gets better. But I'm still training. But usually 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. So when it starts off with a bumper. Yeah, obviously you're ready to go in. Yeah. How does that pan out? Because there's things that happen in life,
100%,
and things that go on, maybe events and stuff,
outside
and that sidetrack
boxing,
you. How do you maintain? Because obviously not everyone's going to understand that. Yeah. And there's going to be times where you may need to go somewhere and you won't be able to focus on fight camp or like.
Okay, I can speak about myself. I'm a boxer. When I know I've got a fight, I'm fighting in 4 weeks, and I know that if I go out tonight or miss training, it's going to show in the ring and I'm going to get beaten up. So for me, that's like my kind of thing. Like, it's not football where you can kind of hide and get your rest. I'm gonna fight in the ring, and in the ring, you can run, but you can't hide. If you miss training, and you'd rather get shitted in training than get shitted in the ring in front of everyone. You know what I mean? So that's for kind of me, but. You got to listen, again, this is boxing talk, but you got to kind of listen to your body as well. Sometimes you're genuinely tired, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to have a day off. Our coach say, if you're tired, no problem, say it. Can't be tired every Friday because you can't bother to train, you know what I mean? But you can have a week, a couple of days here and there, it's normal. Your body gets tired, you're not feeling it today, that's fine. Sometimes you're not feeling well in training, just push through it. It gets better, I mean? After a session, you always feel better. No one's ever had a training session, even if you're not a boxer, even if you go gym, you can go gym or go for an hour walk, you'll always feel better. You never kind of think, I shouldn't have walked yesterday. You know what I mean? Overtraining is a whole different story. But you've never kind of trained. Sometimes just go gym. Like, I'll go boxing, and I'm not really feeling. So I'll just do what I can, do the best I can. But I know it's not gonna be my best session. But that's fine. You got to make up for it one day. You know what I mean? But you kind of just keep going. It's cliche, but everyone says it. Everybody says the same thing, but you got to keep going, bro. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Keep going, because there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
So then, when you talk about like the camp in general, and like you're prepping up for a fight, right? So like when it comes to fight night, how do you sort of like balance like the aggression? Where does the energy, the fire come from at fight night? Like how do you channel that?
Fight night's crazy, but the emotions are crazy. It's a good question. I don't really know. Like in general, I'm quite a calm person, so it's not in my nature to like give it big man, or like, you know, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know, I kind of, if I have a game plan, we kind of stick to the game plan. The game plan, like, me and my coach will decide it based on the opponent. You know, obviously based on my strength, so I know what I'm gonna do. But that fire is always it's in everyone. You know that hunger you're talking about. It's just some people have tapped into it, some people haven't. Some people don't need to tap into it. Again, come back to that thing of luxury. If you got an easy life, you don't really need that hunger. You got everything there for you. It's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. If you don't need to do something, you don't do it. But simple as. But that hunger's in everybody. You know what I mean? That dog's in everyone. You just got to find it. And one thing I do is before my fights, you know, the Sikh history series by BAINSAINYE. He does these very good podcasts. He's a very good talker. So I listen to some of his. You know what I mean? And you hear about shaheeds from back in the day, and that kind of pumps me up. And I swear to God, I listen. It's like a pre-fight ritual, like the day before the weigh-in day. I always listen to it. But like I said, mine is my aggression. I've got a job to do in the ring. I've got a job. I ain't there to impress you or him or her. I've got a job to do. So I've got to do my job to the best of my ability, and I've got to win by any means necessary. That's how it comes down to, you know what I mean? If I've got to be an aggressive fighter, every fight is different, you know, fighters, different styles and whatever. If I've got to be the aggressive fighter, and because he's like a, you know, not so aggressive, I've got to stick it on him. If I know he's going to be the aggressor, I've got to change accordingly, you know what I mean? But you have to dig deep to know that, you know, I've got it in me, I can do both. Again, I'm not going to say I'm the best fighter, you know, I can do all styles, you know, that's not fair to say. But like I said, you got to dig deep and bring out the dog in you, man. Sometimes that's what when it comes
to night before though, I was just gonna think about what goes on your head, because obviously you're thinking I might get hurt.
Oh, 100%.
I might actually damage someone permanently, because obviously a boxing fight, anything can happen. It takes one punch, one
change your life,
and it can change your life. Like, does that ever run through your head, or is it just you kind of, you know?
It does, but obviously, like I said, I've done it for so long now, so it's kind of second nature to me. But I think as hard as it is, just you got to pretend like it's a normal day. If you think too much about something, it says in our job yourself, you can think about something thousands of times. It's not going to change anything. You know what I mean? Like I said, I draw my inspiration from Gurbani. So like I said, you can think about it a million times, but I try and think about just a normal day. It's a normal day. You know, it's a normal fight. It's a normal sparring session. I've done it a million times before. It's just another day, another dollar. You know what I mean? That's how kind of the mentality I have. I've done all the hard work. I've put in the work. I've done what I've needed to do. My weight's good. Everything's good. Day before, it's hard, but you just try and chill. You know what I mean? Watch a film, a happy film. That one, you know, usually one that you know, so you know what you're kind of watching. But you're not really watching it to watch a film. You're just kind of a bit annoyed. You know what I mean? Just to chill out. Everyone has their own methods to chill out. You just got to try to chill out. That's genuinely the best thing to do.
So what would you say has been, so far with your boxing career, was the hardest time you've had to like really, and I mean fucking dig deep?
So when I fought in lockdown, I lost. And the thing with lockdown fight was obviously it was behind closed doors, so it was on like live streams, like everybody watched it.
So that was Martin, isn't it?
Jack Martin. So that fight, I was winning. I think I got headbutted in the third round. The first 2 rounds I was winning. He headbutted me, broke my nose. From there, the fight went downhill. Obviously, I couldn't see his first time broken my nose. I didn't actually realise I broke my nose. But it's crazy, bro. So that fight, again, I stayed in the fight. It was a 6-round fight. Went to the 6 rounds. But I had to dig very deep. And it proved a lot of things. You know, there's like this misconception in the world that, you know, Asians are weak. Indians are doctors and lawyers. They're just weak people.
Yeah.
I had to dig deep, and I took some licks, but I give it back to me. You know what I mean, I couldn't see. My first time I broke my nose, my eyes were watering. You can't breathe. It's like when I don't know if you broke your nose. It's like literally, imagine someone's pinching your nose from there, but as hard as you can, it's like a brick.
Yeah.
You cannot breathe. It's like not just like that's pinching someone, pinching that with like a set of clippers. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. But I had to dig deep, and I had to show, because I knew that it showed the dog in you. You know what I mean? I had to bring it out and show it, because I can say, you know what, I'm a hard person. I really want it. Yeah. But when the going gets tough, that's when you got to get going. You know what I mean? That's when you got to prove what your worth is. That was a tough fight for me, but it's made me who I am. That loss, if I could wave a magic wand, I'd take that loss away, but I can't. It's taught me something. It's taught me about
Did
who
you
I
lose
am.
by points? Or?
Yeah, I lost by points.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So like I said, I got a bash. You know, I had a black eye, cut my eye, broke my nose, but I didn't give up. And even on my last fight, I cut my eye. So he headbutted me in the 5th round. I was winning the fight. He headbutted me. Come to that 7th round, you know, that's there. I had blood gushing in my eye. I couldn't see nothing. So my coach was like, look, I said, look, Martin, do not pull me out. I said, whatever happens, do not pull me out. He said, are you sure? I said, Martin, I promise you, if you pull me out, I won't be able to accept it. I said, I'm good. All right, cool, I can't see, but I'll get through it. You know, I for that, that's that dog in me, though, kind of thing. You know, I mean, that's what I had to do it. I can't give up. It's my nature. That comes from my Sikh. I can't have Savalak tattooed on me and give up. I had to, brother. And like I said, it's hard when you can't see nothing. Like you blood pouring in your eyes. You know, it's everywhere going, everywhere on your body. You kind of feel it dripping down you. You know, and he's capitalized. He's gonna try to capitalize, and that's what all opponents are gonna do. But I had to weather the storm.
So then, how do you like? So when you took the L, right? Like after that, going for the next fight, and like, how do you mentally bounce back?
It's hard, man. It's different because, like, in boxing, it's weird. Like, if you take an L in football, it's no problem. Like, you come back next week, you know what I mean? But with boxing, it's different. It's like, you know, someone gets an L, they just kind of write you off. Not just me, but every fighter. They would write you off. That's how the boxing world is. I'm not really too sure why.
I think it's that thing, isn't it? It's like the streak that you have. It's like
the ogre.
Everybody now want to be an Undertaker, bro. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true. Like, Floyd Mayweather done his thing like 50-0, so everyone wants to protect their own. They would hand pick fights. You know, obviously, I don't want to be. I want to have an undefeated record, but like I said, again, it comes back to just keep going. If I stop then, that would be the end of my story. I won't be sitting here today, you know what I mean? I won't be the Southern Area champion and hopefully fighting for a bigger title in my next fight. That would be the end of the story, and no one cares. Sit at home, like, just get a job and do normal. But if you come back, you just got to forget about public opinion, you know what I mean? You got to forget about the naysayers, forget about everybody else talking, because they're going to talk regardless. Win or lose, they're still going to talk. That's just life, you know what I mean? People are going to say stuff about you, no problem. If you do good, they're still going to talk. If you do bad, they're still going to talk. It's just what you want. It's just what I want. It's what you want.
Right, so
keep going.
I'm going to name some Asian boxers.
Go on.
Right, and I just want to have your general opinion over them. Right, it's going to be a little bit interesting. We got another game as well, so we might play it in this episode. Or we might play in the next one.
No problem.
But so start off with Mr. Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, legend, man, legend. I heard he's making a comeback. Nice and easy.
He's a legend, man.
He's a legend.
Even I know him, man.
He's a legend, bro. Unbelievable fighter, man, honestly. And he's not just unbelievable, he's a down-to-earth man. He's a God-fearing man, you know what I mean? He's a religious guy. He's like an idol. Like the Filipinian people couldn't, like, not treat him like a god, but he's like a god for his people.
So what's one thing that you would want to take from him in terms of boxing?
Probably anything. He's made his name. He's represented his people. Like I said, Filipinos ain't really got any other they have, but not on his level. He's won the titles. He's won the money. But I'll take any one of them for.
Speed,
you know what I mean?
is phenomenal as well.
As a boxer, it's phenomenal. It's fast and furious. Like, it sounds a bit cringe, but probably is. He's a good fighter. So I'd take anything. But give me anything, but I'll take it from him.
Okay.
All right. What about Prince Naseem?
Yeah, another phenomenal fighter, man. Good, very good fighter, classy. But sometimes, again, I'm not saying this. People write him off though, because he took a loss. People wrote him off, and he never really bounced back from it. It was a bad loss, but do you know what I mean? That's kind of. I'm not gonna say that's his legacy, because that's unfair to say. You know, he's an unbeliever. He's probably one of the best British fighters ever, like hands down. One of the best British fighters that have ever come out of this country. But obviously, a lot of people write him off because of his loss, which is not fair on him. But like I said, unbelievable showman, boxer, athlete, wicked.
Showman is.
Yeah, very good showman. Yeah, that's a very important thing in boxing.
Yeah,
being a showman, you can be a good fighter, but if you're boring and you haven't really got a personality, people kind of forget about you. They don't care about you. He was a showman, and people loved him and hated him, but all the more reason.
All right. And what about Amir Khan?
Yeah, man, a good fighter.
Yeah.
It's mad because he's, again, it's irrelevant what I say, but he's kind of tarnished his image a bit outside of the ring because he's done some dumb shit.
Yeah.
But as an athlete, he's a wicked fighter. He's done it. I think he was at 17 when he went to the Olympics, won silver. So he's like crazy things as an athlete. Done really good things, made his money, won titles. But like I said, outside the ring, I don't know him. He probably don't know who I am. Yeah. Actually, one of my boys met him on the airport in Dubai, I think, and he was like, in the Bassi, he's like, yeah, I know him, but he's probably chatting shit in there. But yeah,
I met him once as well, bro. The guy, he's interesting.
He's that's what I'm saying. Interesting is a fair word to use, but
probably the concussion, man.
Bro, it's all about the principle and process.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, bro. That's what it is. But yeah, man. All right, so now that's interesting. So what we saying with time? We good with time, or?
Yeah, we could talk about a few things.
All right. So the one thing I wanted to touch upon, which, as you said, like people should get into boxing and all of that, is the whole realm of YouTube boxing. Yeah. Right. First off, what's your opinions on it?
I think there's nothing wrong with it. And it's a lot of boxers hate on them, a lot of people hate on them, but I think there's nothing wrong. If somebody's offering, YouTube boxers, they're not boxers, they're just people who do YouTube or do involved in the media like you guys. Yeah. If somebody said to you now, fight me for £1 million, you're doing it, bro.
I'm ready, bro.
Bro, you're doing it.
Fighting someone.
Bro, I'll be in the gym, bro.
And it wouldn't be someone like
20, 30 kilos.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. And it wouldn't be someone like me. It'd be like another guy who's involved in media or YouTube. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. £1 million. I'm gonna do it. You give me
who would you want to fight, God?
Bro, I don't mind, bro.
Who would you fight?
Who would you fight?
What, in this space?
Out of the whole broad content creating space,
who would I scrap with?
Who would you scrap?
I don't know, bro.
Gadappa or someone.
Yeah, Gadappa. Yeah, a little scrap with him would be nice. Yeah. But why would that be a very big mismatch though on height as well, even weight and stuff. Oh yeah, true. But I have to pick someone like in a line. I don't want to fight Babu. I do like him though, So
Babu's a big guy.
Yeah. Maybe go for Babu. I just fancy it. Yeah, Babu. If you want to scrap, $1 million.
Garmin versus
Babu. It'd be quite funny to watch. You got two Sangs who are kind of like jokey guys going for a scrap.
Going for a scrap, bro. And that's what people want to see, though.
Yeah. You're getting a thrill now.
That's a business idea, man.
Would you train him?
100%,
bro. I'm ready.
100%. England versus Canada. We could set up a little card, man. England.
Bro, if they're coming to London, bro, we're going to invade.
Who should I scrap?
You scrap with anyone, man. It has to be from anyone, bro.
That's that guy, man. Josh Rain's boy.
Rupen Ball.
You scrap Rupen Ball, you'll kill him, Pajara. You kill him, bro.
Do it as Dolly idea, like both of me as that's it. No, that'd be dope, man.
It has to be someone like you got to send for, and you just you fancy it.
Man. I don't know.
I like this. It's a bit naughty as well. You're just sending for random people.
Random people. They're gonna wake up with mentions, bro. This guy's calling you out, man.
Who do you want to scrap? Like Gusaga, I don't know.
You can fight Jagmeet Singh, but he's a big thing.
Jagmeet, Canada.
He's not media, but
politician. Scrap him.
Continue, man. We gotta find a partner for him.
Scrap him. I'll scrap, bro. You take Rupen, I'll take Jagmeet. We'll go for it.
That's it, bro.
He's got a bit of a body.
You know what? I'll take anybody from Canada, man.
Yeah.
It's Karan or someone, bro. Huh? It's Karan or someone.
Karan, bro. Anyone, bro. Bring it.
Scrap. Karan that'd be a nice fight.
Bro, all of these content creators, what is it? What? Bro, anything. I'll do it, man.
Yeah. 100%. Do it.
Yeah, you're setting up.
Like I said, obviously, this is fantasy talk. But say someone like them YouTuber misfits offered you £1 million, bro. You're doing it.
Not even fantasy, bro. I was still scrapping.
If KSI comes
on the road, bro.
If KSI came to you right now and said, "Look, I'm ready for a fight," even at this very moment, the next day you could go in the ring with him.
100%, brother.
You're ready.
100%. And he's 5 weights above me, but bro, I was still scrapping, bro, for the money that they do, and I know.
It's easy, isn't it? Do you feel that? Do you feel it was for boxers in general? Because obviously you guys talk amongst each other. Do you feel like how the hell has this happened? Because
it's not entirely fair, if I'm honest. Because them guys probably earn more money in one fight than we'll do in our entire career. Like KSI's, they man earn like $5 million a fight on average. You only hear about top boxers. Boxers in general don't earn that money. Boxers don't earn that money. Yeah, but they earn that for one fight, and it's like they normally do like 4 rounders or something, 3 rounders.
Yeah.
And some of them wear headgear as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't actually do 10 rounders. I think Fury done one against
Tommy Fury did.
but that was an 8 rounder as well.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't
yeah,
even a 10 or a 12.
KSI, I think KSI was
And
an
was
8
it 3
rounder.
minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, was it 3?
like
8
that.
3, yeah. So
It
what
was never 12. They've never
no,
done 12
never
round
done
fights.
12, even 10. But a fair play. Okay, he's done 10. 8's not bad. But most of them other guys do like 6 and that.
Yeah.
And they get
short.
big dough, bro.
It's crazy though, isn't it? But, and I never ever subscribe or buy a YouTuber
Nah,
fight.
no,
'Cause
what
for
the-
me, I like professional
But the
fighting.
kids know about that more than they know about us lot.
Yeah, that's true. I only go watch professional.
It's because
fights for
it's
me.
that thing in it. They have like the extra content in it,
100%.
like that's there in it. So
Then they're making documentaries about it as well.
Yeah,
so
'cause
how does that
boxing's a
feel for
business.
you? Because you've done so many fights, and next YouTuber comes in, he's made a whole documentary on one fight, and he's made more
Do you know what
money.
it is,
That's
bro?
that's.
I understand
I'm getting under
exactly
your
what
skin
you're
right now.
saying. Yeah, no,
by saying this. That must hurt.
No, 100%.
That's
But
alright,
you know
don't
what?
get me
We're gonna
We're gonna
fight
get
when
hooked
the
in a
cameras off, bro. Nah, but I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It's a bit of a deep answer, but everyone's on their own journey, but I never know. That could be me in 2 years' time. You never know where this life takes them. It's a crazy life, bro.
Yeah.
You never know. Opportunities come knocking on the door. You know, you never know what could happen. Like as he's on his own journey, these guys, I would want to be there, but I can't sit looking at him thinking, oh, I wish I was like him, man. Or why is he getting that money? Bro, I've got to do my own thing. Maybe
the
one day I
game,
might
innit?
meet.
It's
That's the
the
game,
game,
but you
yeah.
gotta don't hate the
Game
player,
is
like they say, hate the game, bro.
You're
Don't
gonna
the
do
player.
something. And he's gonna do something. He's gonna cook up something. You know,
Maybe
Galangu
one day, bro.
He's
Bro,
gonna
it
end up
starts
becoming
off
like
from BAINSAINYE
Mayweather.
show, man.
You know when
That's what I mean.
Mayweather, like one time on CNN, he just said, "I'm better than Ali." He just started saying stuff
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and I was like, "Bro, tero kuja, bro."
Yeah,
Put the brakes on that.
There's that stuff. I believe is disrespectful.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like me saying I'm better than Mayweather. I'm not better than Mayweather, but I'm gonna do it for clout. You know that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
ain't good.
you did that.
You know when you obviously he's different. He's not. I would never be like that. You know what I mean? But like calling out, I'd never call anybody out if I'm honest. But if a YouTuber said, bro, you know, I want to fight you, bro. Here's a couple million, bro. I'll call him out left, right, centre,
Say for
man.
YouTubers, send for you, bro. Who's
Nah.
this bunda? I've seen some of the interviews of some of the opponents that you fought against. I can't remember his name, like some Khan guy.
Oh, bro,
He said
talking
so- he said
the most,
something-
bro. He said some crazy shit.
He said
man.
some funny stuff on the
Bro,
interview,
he
like
was
you're a
crazy.
D grade,
yeah,
C grade
D
fighter.
He was atting me bad, bro. He was.
He said
Mad.
That's it.
the
That's
way
it,
he
bro.
said it
Listen,
was funny.
bro.
Yeah, he's a D grade fighter.
Bro, he was.
Then I recreate it, but go.
Do you know what the maddest thing is, yeah? I don't know, like, because I'm not even washing my dirty laundry out in public, but so we done a press conference, yeah? He just nodded at me. So he walked in, obviously, I walked in. He just nodded at me, I just nodded back in it. I think he might have shook my hands, I can't remember. But anyway, we acknowledged each other. He said hello to me, and I said hello to him. Got an interview, yeah? So just interviews going normal like this. All of a sudden, man's gone, yeah, this guy, I'm going to smoke, I'm going to do this. He's a CD grade fighter.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this to him. I'm going to do that to him. He can bring an army of people, but in there it's just me and him. I'm going to knock him out. Like he's trying to compete, like
Switched
imagine
up.
like this, yeah. All of a sudden, bro, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I thought, yo, calm down a little bit. I was like, yo, chill, bro, innit?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. What do you know? I was like, oh, shut up, man. Innit? I was like, bro, slow
Yeah,
down. Like,
yeah,
you ain't about that life. Like,
Maybe
relax,
the media
bro.
side kicked in that very moment.
But this
mentally.
is controversy.
Yeah, I need views.
Maybe, but I don't know why. So he's doing all this, yeah. I thought, alright, cool. This guy's a bit aggressive. I was like, bro, but you lost to a journeyman, like a relaxing, like you're not what you think you are. Like,
Yeah.
we'll find out. It's fighting out. It's only 3-4 days. We're relaxed. Keep going, bro. After the thing, I thought, right, this is on then. This is go time.
Yeah.
I'm standing the other side of the gym bit. So it's far like down there. Imagine like out the corridor. He's come to me from this side, shook my hand to see you later, bro. Walked back out that way. I thought, what the hell?
This is a bit odd.
Bro, I thought, bro, literally 1 minute ago, you was telling me you're going to do this to me, do that to
Shook
me,
your hand and-
bring an army. He's come all the way from that side of the venue to shake my hand
Yeah.
and then walk back out that way. And I was like, yo,
Probably
look,
might have
but
needs,
some
man.
people,
Might have
some-
needs.
some people want that clout. They chase that
Yeah.
clout, you know what I mean?
Clout
But
is
that's
clout,
not me, bro.
Well, concussion ho gaya. Like I said, there's needs, bro. There's people. Everyone's got needs in certain
100%,
sense,
man.
and they do understand social cues and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah, if you want to, do you want to go for the game? This
Game.
new
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allah check karla. Is your cup full, man? Drink.
Yeah. We got enough
bro.
paani
So
in
we're
there
gonna-
or drink or
What we're gonna call this game is called pick or sip game, right?
we got
So
enough paani in there.
Yeah,
it's
go
a
on,
very
go on.
simple rule, right?
Is there a pass option?
Sorry?
Is there a pass option I can pass?
Pass is sip. Pass is sip. The sip karna.
ਇਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਪੈਣਾ
Yeah,
ਹੈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਾਸ
that's
ਕਰ
it,
ਦੇਣਾ
bro. So you pick one answer honestly, truthfully, with a response, right? And if you can't take the answer, or if you can't pick one, then you just take a fucking sip of your
I'm
drink,
gonna
That's
sip
it,
a
right?
lot of water, bro.
no, it's not gonna
Okay,
be
and
I'm joking.
it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. We'll go back. Carmen, you can play as well. Just sip and all of that. You can share your answer as well, innit? You know what I mean? People want to know as well.
Oh, yeah,
People love you as well, man. Sometimes.
Of course, sometimes. Okay.
All right, okay. Starting off with a very interesting, easy one. I say easy, it's actually pretty hard. Monarch or Bindrakia?
Oh, easy. Kuldeep Manak. Easy for me.
What are you saying, Carmen?
There's two ways around it. I can be honest and agree with him, or I can disagree and start a debate.
What, are you being the sheep?
No.
What are you saying?
Say you speak your heart, bro.
Say what you need to say,
Because I'm
bro.
Bains, Bindrakia, bro. Bindrakia, Bains. Bains is Bains.
Nah.
Bains backs off the Bains. So obviously.
Why?
Bindrakia, bangers. Just non-stop bangers, bro. And the songs, the Audible, everything. It's
Yeah,
listened
but-
to more in weddings.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, the good fair point. But how many bangers you got?
What do you mean?
How many bangers Bindrakia?
You got, you know.
The 3-4 ones that play at the wedding.
Yeah.
Deepa Sand, Yard Ball, Dupatta,
Sataranga, yeah. You can't go wrong
and you
with
got
that.
like a bullier one.
Yeah.
Kuldeep Manak's got 15, 20, bro.
Yeah.
And okay, they don't play them at the wedding necessarily, but they're actually deep songs.
Bindrakia, you know, if he lived his full life, I think he would have
Nah,
surpassed Monarch. No. But if he just didn't drink as much alcohol, you know, then he would.
That's a big give. No, but that's the question at hand.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he's just supporting his guy because, like I said, he's a
Baines
Baines
in it.
innit?
I had to try and like angle it. Yeah. That was for clout. That's why I said Bindrakia. Just to back it. I don't want everyone agreeing. You know? Yeah.
All right, next one. Mayweather or Pacquiao?
Well, Mayweather beat him, but I think in his prime, if in his prime, I reckon
These are prime.
Prime versus prime.
Bit hypocritical.
That's hard, man.
It's a hard question.
It's
isn't
fought
it?
as well.
Look, you have to pick one.
I'll go for Mayweather. I have to go for Mayweather.
No, I think prime. I'd pick Pacquiao.
Nah, Mayweather, man. The way Mayweather's defense, bro.
100%.
I have no idea about boxing.
Yeah.
You know more
Yeah.
technical, but when I see him darting around the
Yeah,
ring,
no, his defense is
he just
phenomenal.
makes people want to chase for him, ducks around, and he just comes out clean. He just knows how to box like in a different level. Like he clocked everyone, bro. Like
But
you know,
prime, yeah, he beat him, but prime Pacquiao was a different animal.
I think Mayweather would have done it. He would have done it. Mayweather would find a way to grind that fight out.
That's different with Mayweather. He finds a way. But
That little shoulder roll he
yeah,
does,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just dropping random technical
it's true,
stuff.
it's
Man,
true,
nuki
it's
pata,
true.
bro.
Look,
I'm just
Carmen like this,
technical,
like-
little technical. It's just a shoulder, yeah, bro. You know, I mean, just you know, modda naal modda maar ke. You know, he does a little modda. That's it, bro. That's it.
Alright,
Game over.
That's
bro.
interesting.
Watch him when he's skipping rope, bro.
You don't know much about boxing, man.
I don't know much.
All right, next one. 50 Cent or Kanye West?
Oh, easy. 50 Cent's like a legend to me, bro.
Yeah, 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Easy.
So-
Kanye who? 50 Cent.
50 Cent used to be a boxer as well,
Heat,
man.
bro. Heat.
Yeah,
You listen to
bro,
Heat,
he's
yeah.
just
Yeah,
wham,
wham,
man.
yeah,
He's
50 Cent.
50 Cent. All right, okay. Who has the better legacy? Amir Khan or Prince Nassim?
In the team.
Yeah, Nassim, not Khan. There's a lot of drama around the
Yeah,
guy,
a lot
man.
of drama.
You have to be honest. He's been
Like, even
too
like
much.
that thing, his watch got stolen. You know,
Yeah,
he was like suspicious. He's just done things that might not have been his fault, but he just made himself look like a
Yeah.
mug. And he's such a he should have respected himself.
wife that, you know,
Yeah, Pangaya,
cheat,
yeah,
food.
man.
Relax, man.
Too much, bro.
Too much, Pampo.
Too much, man.
Chalo, anyways, next one. Adam Azim or Hassan Hasim?
Ooh, that's a bit of a tricky question, man.
I
But
actually
who's
don't-
better?
Adam Azim.
I've
or
heard of
Hassan
them,
Hasim?
but I can't answer because I don't know like them. that
तू
well.
रहने दे, तू just sip कर ला होता है, just
Jack.
I'll sip that one.
Pani,
sip that one.
Wait, who did one of them beat you?
Yeah, well, Hassan, the older one, beat me. Yeah.
Older man, come on, man. Older.
Sometimes.
In the amateurs,
How did that feel, though?
it was a close fight.
How did
man.
that feel? You dropped a name that he done.
To be honest, it was a close fight. It was one of them ones where, like I said, he beat me. But a lot of the people that was there was like, Inder, you know, you won that. We think you won that fight.
Yeah.
Mm.
But like I said, I'm not going to say, oh, he done this, he done that. He done his job in the ring. I do my job in the ring. But a lot of people did say he beat me. I beat him, but he beat me on paper.
Yeah, that was
That's
4
the-
years ago, wasn't it?
No, longer than that.
Wasn't that okay? I watched it on YouTube, innit? So
Yeah,
I was
no,
trying to-
that was
That video was probably 4 years ago. Bro, on YouTube,
I don't know.
man.
I'm just guessing innit. I don't know. I was watching it and he was moving his hands quite quick, but you know, you
Obviously,
were.
that's a highlight video he's posted. You know what I mean? It's
okay.
not even a full fight, but it was about 6 years ago, I reckon. Now
Mm.
I've been a pro for 4 years, so about a year before,
Damn.
year, 2.5, 2 years.
Adam is it Adam Azim? He's doing.
He's doing
bits
well.
right
He's
now.
the younger one.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both good. They're good fighters in their own rights. You know.
Would you scrap him right now? You finish him off.
I would fight. Was one lighter than me, the older one day, man.
One day. Charles, all right, next one. Musiala or Ujla?
Musiala, man.
Musiala,
It's non-negotiable. Move on.
Wow.
I agree with him.
Move on.
Okay.
You can't even put the names in the same.
All right,
realm,
relax,
man.
man. This is the list I'm talking about. All right, okay. All right. Next one.
Why though? But I agree with you, but why?
Look, I've been a Musiala fan day one, never changed. Even when the politics stuff happened, I can see through that. But when you look at Musiala, his songs, the way he wrote his lyrics.
No, I agree 100%.
Since him going, everyone obviously jumped on the hype. But actually, if you look at the Punjabi music industry, it's dead compared to him. And they can't match it. They're just no level. But that's
what I'm saying. Karan Roger's dead though, man.
Yeah.
He's dead. He's dead singer.
Nah, bro. Karan Roger is dead, bro.
But he ain't on the level that Sid Musa, because he kind of connected with the people.
Exactly. Musiala, he took risks.
Bro, think about it. The song got dropped on Drippy, right?
That was a good song.
Bro, cold.
Yeah, cool.
The impact that it had.
Yeah.
You haven't had a song like that since he was alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's what it is. All right, next one is Tyson Fury or Usyk.
I'll say Fury.
If you asked me that question 2 weeks ago, I would say Fury all day long. But recently it seems like he's been like, you hear stories, people say he's not been taking a fight seriously. I don't blame him. He's made all the money in the world. He's kind of done it. He's done it. You know what I mean? He's done. He's beat everyone. Other than Joshua, he's beat everyone. I'm leaning towards Usyk, but I would say Fury. You know what I mean? I believe he's a class master.
I like Fury. The whole life story.
But recently, like I said, he's been acting a bit of a donut, man. Like he's always been fat. But you watch that fight against Ngannou.
Oh, he was fat.
He was out of shape. You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame him. I understand.
Wait, but that was an exhibition one. Right?
It was exhibition.
No, but it was a 10-round fight or 12-round fight. Fight.
It was 12-round proper fight. Ngannou had him though. Ngannou should have
I don't know. I thought Tyson nicked it, but Tyson Fury should have schooled him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Usyk looks sharp. He looks on game, and I think Fury might be messing around a little bit. But
or is it a game plan?
Get a bit
or is it exactly Fury's good at that? Is it a mental thing that he's trying to get in?
Okay, all right. Next one is Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder.
Joshua.
Bruv, you've always been a Joshua boy, though.
No, I was a Joshua boy. Then I changed when Joshua was moving a bit different. And
I can't lie personally. Right,
Joshua.
When he got sparked and he just grabbed the mic.
Oh
yeah. That's when I realized.
Speech in it. Yeah, I was a bit like.
This I think Joshua, because Joshua done Wilder, didn't he?
No,
they haven't faced.
No, they ain't faced.
Oh, that's a bit worrying. Damn, I don't know.
But why Wilder?
Do you know what? Boxing it's a business. Yeah. If you ask me to fight now, it'd be a boring fight. They're both coming off losses. They're both coming towards the end of their career. They're both. I personally believe they've lost that hunger. But like I said, they've done it. They've earned their millions and millions and millions. They've done it. They've won their titles that they've probably dreamed of as kids. So the hunger's not there. Like 3 years ago, they were different men. It would have been an entertaining fight. But I thought like Joshua had his opponents handpicked. They looked after him to build him up, build up this fighter to be this face of British boxing. He's got a pretty guy, he's got a good body. He's got the muscles and that. He's a good. Before the whole mic thing, he was a good talker. He was actually like a spokesman,
people's champ kind of
thing. Tyson Fury was a much better fighter, but he was outspoken. He was a fat, ugly geezer. You know what I mean? Like, people didn't really understand him until recently when his documentary came out. People trying to actually heard him speak. So if you say he's Wilder, like back then he was a monster. He was strong, man. And Joshua never really had a chin. I think his chin's a bit suspect.
He drops though. He drops like it is a bit concerning.
That's what I'm saying. But then at heavyweight, everyone does. It's a big man. Do you know what I mean? But big men.
It's sad though to see Joshua like that now, because before it was
because
good days,
fanboy, man.
It was good days. He was cleaning people.
He's out
and
and
what
out
happened
fanboy,
then,
man.
bro? He just ended up just sort of.
He's one of them donnies, isn't it? Boxing, Joshua, bro. I'm like Joshua. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what's mad? We used to play football. I still do like 10 years ago. And everyone would be like, Joshua's this guy, man. Joshua's the guy. Look at his body. He's a phenomenal athlete. I'll be like, bro, it's not really about the body. Boxing's, like I say, it's an art form. It says Fury. Nah. What's Fury? People, no one really know about Fury. He's a bum. He looks like his body's fat. I said Fury. But now people understand Fury's the better boxer. Cool. He might not look like the better boxer, but he is. That's the thing with Joshua as well. I think he's such a marketable guy. He's such a guy that everybody loves or did love. Nobody wanted to see him lose. But I do think that he got found out by Andy Ruiz.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
was sad
a
when
cat,
that happened, man. We were at some event and I saw Ruiz when he got floored. I was like,
Nah, he was texting me. He was like, oh, what?
he's like,
What?
what? But Joshua?
Turn up your Joshua.
Oh, boy.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Next one. It's a very tough one. This one, I can't lie. It's a bit deadly, innit? Aloo paronte or gobi de paronte.
Aloo.
Aloo, bro. Gobi gives that weird smell.
Yeah. Nah, but
It depends
I
how
don't know
you
about the
make it,
smell, but I prefer aloo.
Aloo paronte.
innit? What about mulli, innit? If I throw mulli in there.
Nah,
Yeah,
nah,
mulli,
nah.
mulli, bang.
Aloo the paronte.
Nah, mulli.
No, wait. So aloo or mulli?
Yeah, I think
No,
mulli.
I'm gonna take a
Mulli.
not. Do you want? I like dal wale paronte. You know when you have the
Dal,
dal.
तू ज़्यादा experiment
So
करता है,
they use the leftover dal. Yeah, you
Nah,
put
he's
that in.
right, but
they
In the
mix
it
gurdwara
up,
in the
innit?
morning, it
Yeah,
hits different,
Mum
man.
probably
with
knows, but he's
You
good
probably
in the
can't have it because of training.
morning.
camp,
No,
man.
I have brought him
I'll
Sunday.
have it in front
You
of you.
ever on
I'll-
Instagram every Sunday I brought it, bro.
What is your cheat meal? Like you're out and out after a fight. After that, what is the meal?
Do you know
that
the
want?
maddest thing is? Everyone asks me this question. I don't actually have one thing.
Mm.
After my fight, bro, we're picking out 3-4 days, whatever you want, like whatever I'm feeling for chakia, nah. But you can't.
Are you
be
veg
good.
or you?
Nah, I eat meat, bro.
Okay.
Shaka
So you have a mixie in that.
100, bro.
Ah,
Man, needs
yeah,
it,
man.
man.
Where's the
Mixie.
best mixie place? Because you're in East, so there's nothing
There
much.
ain't nothing in East, bro. I come
Out of the
round
UK,
here.
what would you say is the best mixie place?
Anywhere in the Midlands, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Long as they ain't halal. I don't eat halal.
Hmm.
Anywhere in the
Grove
Midlands,
is
bro.
good. Grove.
Grove, yeah, they're all good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, the Sultan and the Copper Fox,
Mm.
Okay.
bro, they're all good, man.
You're ready.
That's it.
They give you a discount.
Nah,
Oh,
should
okay.
do. Actually, no,
They
Sultan
are,
haven't
they
do
are.
shout
They
out Sultan,
discounted
man.
the deal. That's
My
Shows,
boy,
yeah.
Gov, man, he always gives me, he looks
Bro,
after
their
me,
mint
man.
sauce is different. It's good.
Bruv, what's about? Okay, talk to me about this mint sauce. Sorry, this is something that he
No,
always
mint
talks
sauce.
about.
Mint
right?
sauce has to
Nah,
land.
talk about what is the
Mint
mint
sauce has to
bro?
land. You know, the thing is, Grove mint sauce is good. Yeah, it's good quality. They give you in a buddy dubbi. They're more kulle dil. So what happen? They give you like the little jar, yeah, and I say, oh, then I'll cut
Yeah,
jar.
but it's quite a big jar, you know.
Yeah, if you get the jar,
Yeah.
and then there's other places that don't have anything.
Yeah,
They just
little-
pour in a little
little
cuppy.
thing.
What are you gonna do with that, bro? Well, then I come on. I'm vegetarian, but obviously,
Yeah,
like you know,
yeah.
that's
Jump,
where.
jump in it, bro.
Yeah. So a chopper. Yeah.
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
Well, okay, all right. Next one is not for you. I'm sorry, bro. Okay, win by knockout or a win by points outright all rounds.
Nah, knockout, bro.
Knockout.
Easy. Because listen, you don't get paid for overtime. You knock him out in the first round, but if you go home, you know what I mean?
How does that feel? Floored the man.
Unbelievable, man. It was like a movie because everybody wants to win. You know, you win your first title by a knockout, but in the first round against a guy who's undefeated, and he was another guy who was talking a lot of crud before the fight in interviews and that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm not that guy. You know, I didn't really pay attention, but he was saying a lot of stuff in interviews. I thought, cool, we'll see you fighting that. You know what I mean? Even at the weigh-in, he was trying to play funny games, but winning by first round knockout was mad. And that York call was electric. I don't know if you've seen the video. There was like 400 up and under there. Imagine 400 up and under there. It's obviously a bigger hall, but the vibe is like electric. It's the home of boxing. And he sold a couple hundred, but there's a lot of general people who was just there watching as well. So at that moment, there's probably like 800 people in that state, in that hall, arena, whatever it is. Unbelievable atmosphere, man. A first up and to win a title in like over 20-25 years.
Cold.
I had people come from Midlands. You know what I mean, I had like 50-60 people come from Midlands. A lot of people come from all over, like Slough,
Yeah.
50 people, Bear, man. You know what I mean?
That is great, man.
It's
That's
mad,
man.
monumental history for like British
Crazy.
Asian history in the
100%,
UK, and you're part
100%.
of that. You know what I mean? And you,
Part of it.
I'm guessing that's
Nah,
fact.
nah, nah,
It's
I-
facts,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
say what it
It
is,
etch
innit,
you,
man?
Into like
respect, man. Thank
All
you,
right.
man.
Next one is prime Mike Tyson or prime Muhammad Ali.
That's a silly question, man. I don't know.
Muhammad Ali.
Tyson.
I like Muhammad Ali, just the way he skips and moves, you know, and the way his
See,
vibes
this
were.
is not a factual answer.
I'm just gonna
No,
fire
that's
at
what I'm
Muhammad
saying.
Ali.
Because you're Muhammad Ali. I'm a Tyson fan. I'm gonna say Tyson.
Yeah.
He's gonna say Ali, but
Ali,
it's
bro.
just who you like.
I just think Tyson would have anyone, man.
Tyson, but in his prime, man.
Ali will.
Nah,
Ali,
man, I
bro.
think
Ali,
prime
man.
Tyson
moves
could do
about.
anyone, man.
All right. Tupac or DMX.
Tupac,
Tupac, man.
legend.
Tupac has to be.
You
There's
think?
too much around. Tupac is like
Legend, bro.
legendary.
His music, his meaning behind his music.
Yeah,
He's like a
yeah.
musala for the
100%.
for the people. man.
100%. His lyrics land. DMX with the dog fights, calm down.
Mm.
You know, the pit bulls and that.
All right.
Rest in peace, though.
Next one. Dylan Chima or Sukhdeep Singh Chakra.
You know, they're both my friends, man. That's a horrible question. I might just sit. I know both of them. You know what I mean, personally.
God, man.
I don't know about that. I mean,
There's different ways.
I'll scrap both.
Oh, he's Canadian, bro. You can scrap Sukhdeep.
Yeah, Canadian.
I
bro.
don't know Sukhdeep, yeah, what your weight is, but
You're middleweight.
they're scrapping food.
Scrapping food.
Eat.
They're both
Competition,
good
eating
fighters,
competition.
They're good fighters, man.
Okay.
They're good fighters.
Yes, take a sip on that. You put them in the corner, put them in the edge, you know.
Sorry, man. But yeah, no, Charles, that's part of the game done. Right?
Yeah,
Cool.
that's part.
How do you feel from that? That's the part one.
Yeah, that's part
done.
one, and we're gonna make sure you stay tuned for part two, which is
Mm.
gonna be even more stuff, and that's gonna be a members episode. So you
Yeah.
obviously get the membership. But again, we thank you, Inder, for
Thank
coming
you.
down, you know, and chatting to us. So yeah, we're temporarily out.